Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing a brand new Valentine's Day project you can make with your Cricut. I'm going to show you how to make this super cute mini kissing booth. This is such a cute idea for holding Valentine candy, and it also makes a great gift. Most of the supplies can be found at Dollar Tree, so it's also inexpensive to make. This is a fun and easy project, and I'm excited to show you how to make your own. Now let's go take a look at the supply list and get started. For this project, you'll need a mini wood crate, and mine measures about 6 by 3 by 2. You'll need wood for the sign, and mine measures about 2 inches by 6 inches, straws or dowels to hold up the sign, adhesive vinyl in black and red, transfer tape, your weeding tool and scraper, some sandpaper, paint and a brush, glue, cardstock, twine, candy kisses, and of course, your Cricut, a cutting mat, and the cut file. So grab your supplies and head over to your computer. The first thing we need to do is grab the SVG file we'll be using for this project. You can get it for free on my blog at burtonavenue.com. I keep all the SVG files for the projects I make and share in my free SVG library. These files will work with all kinds of cutting machines, and they're free to everyone. Once you're on my site, just click on Free SVG Files and then Free SVG Library. You will need a password to get into the library, and there are instructions on the screen if you need to get one. For this project, we're going to be using the cut file called Kissing Booth. BA1774. To find it, just use your browser search and enter 1774. Once you found the file, go ahead and click on that link, and the files will be downloaded onto your computer. So I'm going to show you how to set up and cut this design in Cricut Design Space. If you're not sure how to unzip and import designs into Cricut Design Space, be sure to check out my step-by-step tutorial. So this is what the design will look like when you first import it onto your Canvas screen. These letters and the lips will be cut out of black and red adhesive vinyl, and we'll put them on a piece of wood for our sign. And then this pink design down here, we are going to use to create a little bunting banner that's going to go in front of our crate. So now we need to resize everything so that it will work with our project. But you'll notice that everything is grouped together. I can't resize just the pink portion because it will resize everything. So to fix that, you just need to right click and choose Ungroup, and that should break apart all the different colors. So now we have this pink portion that we'll be cutting out of cardstock, and then we'll be cutting these out of vinyl. You'll notice down here on the pink design, there's these little dashed lines. And those will be cut with just our regular knife tool, and they'll be perforation lines so that it'll make it easy to fold this design in half. To make sure that those lines stay in place, you need to right click and choose Attach. And that will just lock those lines right there where you see it on the screen. The next thing we're going to do is resize this. So we're going to go up and change the height to 1 inch. And at that size, we can fit about 5 of these across the front of the crate. So now we just need to make copies so that we have 5 of them. So you can just right click and choose Duplicate until you have 5 of those pieces. So when we go to cut these, Cricut will actually rearrange these on our cutting mat so that it uses the least amount of cardstock as possible. So now we're done with the pink. We are going to work on the black and the red. So I'm going to select both of those and just scoot them over here for a minute. The next thing I'm going to do is create a rectangle that is the same size as the piece of wood I'm going to use for my mini sign. So I'm going to click on Shapes, and then I'm going to choose the square. And then I'm going to go up here and unlock the padlock and put in the dimensions of my piece of wood. And my wood measures about 6 inches wide by 2 inches tall. So this is the size of my piece of wood. I'm also going to click on Arrange and choose Send to Back. And now we can select this design and drag it onto this rectangle and then use these arrows to resize it until it looks good on that rectangle. And I think that size looks good. You'll notice it's about 5.5 inches wide and just over 1 3/4 of an inch tall. So now we can select that rectangle and delete it. And the last thing that we need to do is attach all of these black pieces together so that when Cricut cuts it, it will cut it the same way that we see it on the screen. So just select any of the black part of the design and right-click and choose Attach. Now you could do the same thing with the red lips, but since there's 2 of them, I am not going to worry about that. And so now we're done with everything on this canvas screen. You can now go up and click on the green Make It button, and then you'll be taken to this screen. Now on this screen, Cricut will divide our different colors into 3 different cutting mats. The first mat will be cut with black vinyl, the second mat will be cut with red vinyl, and this third one will actually cut out of red cardstock. So if everything looks good, you can click on the green Continue button. Once Design Space finds your machine, you'll be taken to this screen. Make sure that your dial is set to vinyl, and then you can go load your cutting mat. So place a piece of black adhesive vinyl on your cutting mat and smooth it down so there aren't any wrinkles or bubbles. Then load it into your Cricut by pressing the up and down arrow button. When your Cricut is ready to cut, you'll see the C button light up. Press that and the machine will begin cutting. When everything has been cut, you can press the up and down arrow button again to unload your mat. Remove the black vinyl from your cutting mat and place on a piece of red vinyl. Load that into your Cricut and repeat the steps until the red vinyl has been cut. When the red vinyl is finished cutting, you can remove that from the cutting mat and then place on a piece of red cardstock. Load the cardstock into the machine by pressing the up and down arrow button. Turn your dial to cardstock and then press the C button to begin cutting. Once the cardstock is finished cutting, you can remove that from the cutting mat. You'll want to slightly bend the cutting mat and carefully pull off the cardstock pieces. Grab your 2 pieces of vinyl and trim away any unused portion of the vinyl. Then remove the excess vinyl from around the letters, numbers, and shapes. You can use your weeding tool to help you pull out any pieces that were left inside. Next, place a piece of transfer tape sticky side up on your work surface and then place the vinyl on top of that. Rub over everything firmly with your scraper and then trim off the excess vinyl backing and transfer tape. Now that the vinyl's ready to go, we're going to work on the little paper banner. Grab one of the cardstock cutouts and fold it in half along the perforation line. Open it back up and add a little glue on the inside. Now place a piece of twine along the fold line and then fold the cardstock back in half. Repeat this with your other 4 cutouts. Next, we're going to work on the pieces for the box. Start by sanding all of the wood pieces. I'm using a plastic straw to hold up the sign, and I sanded that a little bit too so the paint will stick better to it. Once you're done sanding, you can paint everything white. You'll probably need to do 2 to 3 coats. After the paint has had plenty of time to dry, check the pieces to make sure they are smooth. If not, you can lightly sand them with a high grit sandpaper. Now we're going to apply the vinyl design. Remove the vinyl backing from the black vinyl and position the design on the little wood piece. Adjust the design so it's straight and centered. Then use a scraper and rub over the entire design to press it onto the wood. Carefully pull off the transfer tape and repeat these steps with the red vinyl. Next, we're going to glue everything together. Cut the straw so you have 2 6-inch pieces. Then place those pieces inside of the crate and glue them onto the back 2 corners. Add some glue to the tops of the straws and glue on the little wooden sign. Place the little paper banner on the front of your box. Adjust the spacing between the pieces so it's even, and then tie a knot at each end of the twine, and trim off any excess on the end. Attach the banner to the box with some glue. Finally, fill up your box with some candy kisses and this project is finished. Didn't it turn out cute? If you enjoyed this project and want to see more like it, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell